I am Marielle van Uitert. I'm a Dutch photographer, I live in the Netherlands, and I'm specialized in war photography, conflict photography, that kind of stuff. I usually work for myself. I'm a freelance photographer, so newspapers and television, they don't tell me what to make or what to say, what to tell or what not to tell. So I make and create my own stories. I also think about it beforehand. What do I want to make? What do I want to tell? And that's what I'm going to do. And afterwards I try to publish it around the world. Yeah. So no one tells me what to do. That's great. My book is just published. It's called Bye Bye Bullshit. And it's about the last patrols of the Dutch army in Uruzgan, in Afghanistan, also in Chora. And people always ask me, all right, as a journalist you go on patrol, what do you see? And I wanted to show it. I'm proud of the Dutch army who went there and did some good job. And I had to show the world what you see when you're doing this patrol. And that's what my book is about, but it's not about the army. You see a war, but you see only like a gun and a child who is afraid, like also the cover of my book. It doesn't tell exactly it's war, but you feel the war. So it's an indirect way of saying how afraid these children are, actually. It's called Bye Bye Bullshit because when the army went to Afghanistan, there were a lot of Dutch citizens who said, it's stupid, what do we do there, it's no use. And there was also some people who said, when we withdrew from Afghanistan, it's bullshit, we should stay there, we have not achieved enough. And it was always like, it's bullshit, whether we were there or whether we were leaving this country. So now the curtains fell for the Netherlands troops, so it was bye-bye bullshit. I was there like 4 or 5 years ago, and then the people were very friendly towards us. They invited us to have tea with them, and now it was so completely different. You see that these children are afraid, and this girl is protecting her brother. Because we are walking by, we are passing by as soldiers, and all the Afghan people knew that the Dutch were leaving the country, so they didn't respect us anymore. They were very hostile towards us, and I think this picture shows more than when you show like a dead child lying there. It's more about, this is the new future of Afghanistan. Look at their eyes, they're afraid, and they want only a child tries to protect her own brother. Yeah, because she's still like 8 years old, something. And I think it's quite impressive. Yeah. I was going to a clinic where Afghan women went secretly to talk to each other about how they were beaten by their husbands, and it was all very secret, because normally in the Afghan world these females, they don't talk about their problems at home, that they are beaten by their husbands. So I was taking pictures there with no one protecting me, and I felt the tension growing, people running away, and it all happened so fast. Someone was pulling me. I was wearing a burqa because I already felt this is no good, and I was thrown into a car, and I was driving. There was this guy driving me like 120 kilometers an hour, and I saw at my left hand side Americans searching for road bombs, and I was sitting there with my burqa on, and I thought, oh, this is no good. And then he dropped me at a house. My phone was taken away, and they just didn't say anything. So after a day I got my telephone back, and I tried to contact my friend what to do, because I was panicking. And then there was this Afghan guy. He came to me and said, "Okay, the Taliban wants your head. They want to kill you, and the social security here in this country, they think you're a spy."
Oh, the security service.
Yes. So I said, "Okay, what do we do now?" Because he spoke a little bit English. Because my security was gone, and then I contacted the NGO, and they got me in 2 days. They got me back to Kabul with a small airplane, and in the airplane there was this Japanese lady, and she was crying, and I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "In the place where I was just chased away, her friend was kidnapped." And 2 days later on CNN or BBC, I saw he was being decapitated. This was the last picture I took before I was fleeing into this car. There was this woman who was beaten up by her husband, and she was helped by her friend, and she was really willing to show the world about women's rights are like zero in Afghanistan. And I'm a woman, and I think I have to show this, because they have no voice. There is no newspapers or magazines or anything. They are voiceless. So it feels like I'm their voice, and I have to tell these stories. And I'm still glad that it came out of it. That's good. Yeah.